I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome back, and wow, I've been wanting to talk to somebody about this for quite some time. What an honor to have with us today Michael Daugherty. He's the senior writer for Cyber Defense Magazine. He's also a board member of Snoop Wall, the author of an incredible book called The Devil Inside the Beltway, the shocking expose of the U.S. government's surveillance and overreach into cybersecurity and medicine and small business. We've been talking about it for quite some time, and especially us broadcasters yelling and screaming about the government taking control of the internet. And now the president wants to give that control to the UN. Michael, a delight to have you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
Good to see you. So how threatening is this potential move of giving the oversight of the internet to the UN?
It's a huge threat. It is, once again, Barack Obama playing stupid like a fox and refusing to give up his worship of this theory of some sort of global kumbaya when the globe is actually full of tyrants that do not like freedom and do not like the internet when it's used as a free tool. So when you give control of the foundation of it, what you are is you're enabling censorship by people that don't have the values that we in free democracies have around the world. And Barack Obama is just pulling a fast one. Here we are at the end of the summer. He says he's not going to do something. It's never going to end up in the hands of the UN. And, you know, I mean, what a great week to do it just before Labor Day when no one's paying attention. It's pretty far down the road.
Michael, we broadcasters were screaming and hollering to our audiences that the government shouldn't have done this. And a lot of our congresspeople, Republicans included, voted to take control. What did that mean?
That means when people don't do their homework, it works when you're told that you're against, you know, global kumbaya, and that you're insinuated that you're racist, and that the United States is an authoritarian country, which is bizarre. You know, we are the protector of freedom. I mean, there's so many people in this country and in the class that elects these politicians that doesn't understand the basic truths of what we're founded on and the separation of powers and what our role is in the world. And that's why we don't know what we got till it's gone. And in some instances, I don't even know if we're recognizing until it's way gone. And this is one of those things. It's really a problem because we've got a generation of people that have had history books that are half-truths, and they don't understand concept of separation of powers, and they don't understand that there are bad people out in the world. And so when they don't get that, then this kind of spin that Obama does sounds reasonable to the uneducated and uninformed.
All right, so let me jump ahead and come back. Is there any possibility that Congress could prevent this transfer?
Well, Congress is a political animal, and all depends on what happens with the screaming and yelling in the next few weeks. I mean, it looks pretty slim. You know, you've got the campaign coming up, so you only have 4 weeks in session. It is a madhouse, those 4 weeks. It is the time when people try to slip things by because they run the clock down. So it really is up to the media, honestly, and the public to really put heat on and to define what this really means. Unfortunately, we have a populace that lives on Twitter, and if you don't keep the heart of the message in something as short as a tweet, it's tough. So I don't give it a great shot here. It's another one of those things where Barack Obama is running the clock on his administration, and he's cramming in all these things that he said he'd never do because he's out of there, so who cares?
All right, let's go back to the possibility now of this being taken over by the UN or some international group. We broadcasters now fear our First Amendment rights, and I can't help but think commerce in general is going to be threatened by some means of taxation.
Well, that's the whole bottom line. This is what these regimes do. I mean, the first thing you do is you start making promises about how much you care about everybody and how you're going to take care of them. And then the uninformed believe that. Look at Venezuela right now. And then you go to losing control, and then it's these freedoms fade away. They evaporate slowly so that each individual thing in and of itself might not be a big news story. And you start losing your freedoms. Look at what's happening. You want a perfect example? Look at Iran. You know, Obama's first term, everyone's got their iPhones up. Everyone's showing pictures all around the world of all this tyranny. It looks like people are finally going to have a voice, and boom, it gets cut down. And what does the United States do? Dead silence. And that sort of passivity is an action, and it's a message, and it's a brutal one. And that's another thing that's going on here, because now you're going to give this power up to the UN that splits the baby, you know, oh, let's all, like freedom is negotiable, you know, and tyranny only in small percentages. And that's what we're going for. And that's right. So it starts with freedom of speech, freedom of idea, taking your platform away.
Where's capitalism here? Why aren't they screaming and hollering about this?
Well, we have big companies that are in the bag for the administration because they're international. They're not just national. I mean, the United States is just a sales territory, some of these people, and they're preoccupied with what they're doing in their own self-interest. I mean, Apple just got nailed with a $13 billion, tax bill from the EU this morning. The world is missing the point. And when you don't understand it, you give it away. And some of these capitalists are just working on pure self-interest and survival, and that means they're ignoring the value of the Constitution and freedoms and just going pure for commerce and cooperation with regimes and political tyrants, like Apple having to cooperate what they do selling in China or Russia,
Let me say to our viewers and listeners, you can go to devilinsidethebeltway.com. That's Michael's website, thedevilinsidethebeltway.com, and check out the book, The Devil Inside the Beltway. Michael, you obviously track government surveillance and overreach. How bad is it?
Well, what the worst part about the government in the United States is that it's incompetent in the knowledge. I mean, when you get into science and medicine, you have to leave politics on the side. And we're seeing this recipe of disaster right now because we have all these lawyers running this thing. That's like going into a war zone and opening the back of the freighter, and letting out lawyers instead of soldiers. So our cybersecurity defenses are terrible. The regulatory body is completely ridiculous, too expensive and ineffective. And in medicine, you see what's going on with Obamacare. It's imploding. And it is a big deal that we understand that we have voted people in with power, but they don't have knowledge. And you can't vote in intelligence or knowledge that doesn't come just with winning an election. That's our job as citizens. We have to pick.
Yeah, we the people. Man, I wish I had you for an hour. I'm going to get you back. But one last quick question. What should citizens do in contacting their legislators about this issue?
Well, they need to call their congressional office. They need to speak to specifically the staffer that handles technology and security. This is a homeland security issue about giving our power away. Because when you give our power, the internet away, you give away our freedoms, and that's our defense. So I would call and talk to them and say, this is not okay. You expect them to protect the country and the world, by the way, not just the country, the world, and not give this away.
Can I get you back?
Oh, please do.
Okay. By the way, folks, go to thedevilinsidethebeltway.com. That's Michael's website. Check out the book at Amazon or Barnes & Noble, The Devil Inside the Beltway. You'll read more about it. Thank you, Michael, for your work. Keep up the good work, and we'll reconnect soon, okay?
Good talking.
All right, we'll be right back.